All right, folks, we're going to do here a film review of The Haunted Mansion and try to do it in 5 or 6 minutes. Try to keep this short for you. And so what I'm going to do here is tell you, first and foremost, that of the kind of red flags that a more Christian audience should be aware of, the only thing that I really noticed was the Lord's name in vain used 3 times. Now, it may have happened more than that, but I counted 3 times. And the phrase they used was, "Oh my," fill in the blank with the rest of it. They said that 3 times. Now, I stepped out of the theater for a minute to use the restroom. Normally, I don't do that in a movie, but, this movie didn't exactly capture my attention that well, so just going out to stretch my legs was kind of important here. So, but 3 times, I think, was what they did. The next thing is, I'm going to zoom in on one character here, and that is a priest played by Owen Wilson named Father Kent. The only spoiler I'm going to give you is that he is a fraud. He is not actually a priest. This is a grifter who runs a con of basically going and doing quote-unquote exorcisms at houses that aren't actually haunted, but people live there who think their house is haunted. He's mocking. There's a mockery of a priest basically going on in this movie. And of course, this guy teams up with a medium, and they do seances, and you see all that stuff going on. Now, Haunted Mansion being a Halloween kind of movie did leave me a little perplexed. Why was this movie released in July instead of, late September, like Halloween movies typically are? Perhaps there's things going on at that time in the box office that Disney does not want to compete with. Now, to prepare for this movie, my wife and I sat down and watched the Haunted Mansion movie from the 2000s with Eddie Murphy. That movie was terrible. It was terrible. It wasn't as bad, I guess, as people have made it out to be, but I will be a happy man if I never have to watch it again. It wasn't so bad that it's almost good. Those kind of bad movies like Superman 3 or Jaws 4 or those kind of things. But it was bad. This one was light years better. I will admit that once you get past, if you can get past the Lord's name in vain thing, which for a lot of Christians is a deal breaker completely, and again, we do film reviews here letting you know about these things so you can go fully equipped into a movie or not based on that. Once you get past that, the only real weak acting I thought was from Jared Leto, who plays the villain in the movie. The strongest acting actually was from the male lead, who plays a character named Ben, and the child actor in the movie was really good too. But, Owen Wilson was playing Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson as an actor has a few roles under his belt where he has done something that has been a little different than usual, but he's playing Owen Wilson in this movie. This is one of his just phone it in kind of performances. Danny DeVito's in it, playing a bumbling moron. In fact, aside from the mother played by Rosario Dawson, the child, and Ben, pretty much everybody else is basically a moron in the movie. And it's a PG-13 movie. It's got a lot of jump scares and demonic imagery that you would expect in a scary, spooky kind of movie. I cannot recommend you go see this, obviously, for a whole lot of reasons, but I'm going to give you in general, what I thought in terms of, as a Disney movie, I thought it was probably better than the Disney movies I've seen this year, which were that atrocious Little Mermaid movie that came out a few months ago, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery. I saw both of those. This is better than both of those films. Now, is it enough to save Disney? I don't think it is. Disney is a broken, toxic brand at this point. Nobody trusts them, either because they think their movies are going to be garbage when they put them out, or because they know that they're going to just have a bunch of woke nonsense shoveled down their throat. And this is no different in one respect. The movie's not woke, per se. There's one joke in it that you could interpret as being woke. There's a scene where a bunch of ghosts are flying around, and one of the characters says, hey, I'm an ally of you guys. The word ally has become loaded. It may or may not be in the sort of woke sort of use in this film, but I could see how people might say that it is. Because pretty much once a company goes woke, it touches everything that they do. The cast has a predominantly African-American cast, but again, it's a film set in Louisiana, in New Orleans specifically. features a lot of that kind of culture in it, so I wouldn't call it, that doesn't necessarily make the movie woke. The previous Haunted Mansion movie was also predominantly African American in its casting. So again, I don't think that actually counts for it being woke. But on a 5-star scale, give it about a 3.5, which makes it the best Disney movie I've seen this year, and I haven't seen a new Disney movie previous to this year, so it's probably one of the better Disney movies I've seen in the last few years. That's a sad statement that a sort of mediocre, mid-grade movie is their best movie that they've done in a while. That's Haunted Mansion, a little bit of The Lord's Name in Vain, no immodesty, impurity, any of that kind of stuff. It's one of those weird, confusing movies that Disney doesn't know who their audience is because it's a PG-13 movie marketed to children, and I don't think a PG-13 rating is a child-appropriate movie. And there were small children at this early showing that my wife and I just got out of. But PG-13 rating, 2 hour and 5 minute runtime, so it's a little long for a kid's movie, but it's not a kid's movie because of its rating. Again, Disney needs to figure what it is they're doing out. It's got some jump scares and that kind of thing in it, but and ghost swinging CGI axes, that kind of thing. Safe for your kids? I will leave that up for you to decide. Again, not my place to say. I will just say that I will personally not be letting my children see this movie possibly ever. So anyway, let me know what you thought of this in the comments, please, and give us a like and subscribe here at Rigid Catholic Nerds. Could use the help. And thanks for your time. God bless.